Greetings and welcome back to Prosperous Universe. Before we get started, this game was provided for free by the developer. Okay, so I recorded a whole 30-something minute video about how I was setting it up and all for the process and setting the whole base up, and then I screwed up because I had my camera feed record over the gameplay footage and they went to the same file and just Windows destroyed them. Normally they record to two separate files, but I missed a setting and I screwed up basically, and that means I have to re-record something. So what we're going to do now is going to see what I've done and explain why I've done it and explain the calculations and stuff, rather than seeing me build the stuff because the stuff's already been built. And I don't want to reset and try again, because if I did that we'd have to wait 3 days, and I don't have 3 days to wait since I am now recording this on the day it's going to go and released. It is currently what time is it? It is 3 AM on the 5th, which is the same day it'll be released. It'll be released at 5 PM. So I'm going to record this and then I'm going to edit it. Although the edit will be quite rough and quick, as per usual. And then I'm going to go sleep and work and then release a video. So, stuff. Alright, so here's what we did. We set up a base screen which has the basic chat in it for talking to the community. It has a help chat, which I'm not quite sure what's happening in here yet. I don't remember that one being there before. There used to be a planetary chat, but I don't see that. We've got my inventory here, so we can see we've got some bulkheads, we've got some structural elements, and some material what is that? I can't read the whole word. Material construction granulate. So those are for building stuff. We need to see what we're going to be building in the future, but we haven't really got anything to build just yet. We have some drinking water. We have some hydrocarbon plants that's left over from manufacturing, overalls, rations, and water. Okay, so that's what's in our inventory. That's mostly it's actually what was left over from our ship. I can see here, I currently have a capacity of 200 pioneers because I actually bought, we've got our sections, I actually bought 2 pioneer hubs, a farm, 2 incinerators, and a core module. So our core module's down. We've got a base on Prometer. We've got 2 hubs, 2 incinerators, and a farm. Now the farm will not keep up with the incinerators. That's just done. That will happen. Probably upgrade to 2 farms very shortly. Actually, probably in the next episode I'm just going to go through what we did this time round. But for now we can do that. We can buy in materials that we need if we need it. We are currently using 130 of our population, so like I say, we can bring in additional people. It's not an issue for us. But looking at our next one, we have the local market. Okay, this took me a while to figure out where it was hidden, because I honestly, in the game, in the previous video in the game, I kind of got confused where this one was. So yeah, you can see that. Again, inventory, useful when you're buying stuff. We have the market here. So what we've got is we are selling carbon. We're making carbon once again. And in the market here, you can see that it's currently being bought for 600 and sold for 839. But the price chart over the last 7 days says the average price really is around 800. So we're calculating 800 into our selling price, although the plan is to, if it's profitable, put the carbon onto a ship and send it off to Mortem, where it's selling for around 1400. Although we have to look into currency exchanges, which makes life a little bit interesting. So there we go. Alright, so that's the element. We have had to buy some prefabs to expand our staff, but that was good. We also have, do not in the purchasing thing, but we also have basic materials. Drinking water is currently selling for 40 credits. Basic overalls are selling for 180, and rations are at 80. This means, look at our spreadsheet from way back when, we have our actual consumptions and stuff on running. So we've got it actually costs us around, this is wrong, which is what costs, it'll be easier. It costs us 750 credits per day to run this facility, which is 31 credits per hour, which is useful. Which means we can add those into the calculation mix. So the carbon, let's go back to here. Interestingly, in that production tab, which currently is mostly empty, carbon has been changed. There are more recipes, and there are mixture recipes as well. So if you want to get carbon in 7 hours 55 minutes, you can do that by burning two grain, 2 maize, and 2 plants, and you will. Sorry, 2 grains, 2 maize, and 4 plants. But that's a lot of resources to burn just to get that carbon. Is it worth it? Maybe in some circumstances. But if you go down to a single resource, like the grains, 4 grains, you get 2 carbon out. Whereas this one here, you still only get 2 carbon out, don't forget. But instead of 7 hours, it's a day. But a single resource, you have to wait a day. So it's slower, which means technically it costs more in materials, but it might save money in wages. And we're going to need to do some balancing acts and see if it's worth doing or not, because it might very well be. But it's all interesting. We've got loads of new stuff to play around with, which is great. In the crop side of things, they haven't really changed much. They're the same as they always were. Only difference now is there's the grains here. Does 1 water to 4 grain in 19 hours 24 minutes, whereas this one is 4 units of water in 14 hours. So it's significantly faster if you put more water in now. Before they were the same, so didn't make sense. And maize produces 6 units instead of 4, so now each one is worth a little bit extra. They have their own little variances. And what we're currently doing is we've got 2 carbon incinerators burning right now, and we've got in 23 hours they will complete and they'll start the next batch, and by then we'll have the 9 hours for the hydrocarbons to complete. The 2 hydrocarbons will stock up our additional hydrocarbons that we started with, enough to start 1 incinerator up. However, we may have to wait, well, we will have to wait a little bit for the grains to complete to get the second one up and running. But we're going to have to go and buy some resources in as well, so that's not too bad. We might buy them today and get the grains in ahead of time to help us out. We do need another farm though. The grains, we are currently using the 4 water version of the grain, which is great because that means we can produce more faster and better with a cheaper cost. So if you actually look over here on the spreadsheet, if we use the bottom grains here, which is the bottom number, it is the most profitable of all the others. So we're adding them up. It says here, unless my calculations are wrong, which they could be, it is more profitable to make them using the 4 water version of the grain. So that's going to be hopefully very good for us. Okay, so that's our production lines. Our production lines are running, and we do need to get some grains. So in 9 hours time, in 23 hours time, that won't be completed. In fact, when will that be completed? Let's see, you've got 14, 33, and 9. So do it this way, equals 14.5 plus 9. 23 hours. So 23.5 hours, they can take 24 hours. In fact, they will be complete just in time. So it's great. So what we can actually do then is say, okay, you get me another grain that uses 4 water planned. Boom, there we go. And that will be the end of our water supply. Where's our water? There we go. Because that will use up 4 of our water for that one. It'll do 4 of our water for that one. So we will not have any water left. We need to buy some more by the next time. But given all that, we're not going to have enough to run these. So if I set up, we don't need to set up any of these. I'll do these as we need them. But that should keep the farm operational. I think we do need a second farm. Probably sooner rather than later, so we'll build that probably in the next episode when we get around to building the farm. But I think we need to come in here and we need to make sure we have the grains. So in 14 hours that'll be ready. Then next after that, with 14 hours after that. But when the problem is that 14 hours comes in and we won't be able to get a second one because it'll be 14 hours, it'll be 24 or 28 hours. So there's gonna be overgap. So I think we should buy 4 grain just now. Buy 4 grain, get them in stock ready for when we just a little backlog. So let's go and buy some. I have no idea how much they cost, so let's go actually have a look. Agricultural products. Okay, so the grains. People are selling grains for 209. Let's put these into our little thing down here. Grains are buying for 209. People are buying for 160 though. 160. There we go. Just put those in as we got the prices. How much does the chart say? Over the last 7 days? Grains have sold for 200. Okay, so yeah, they're selling for around between 200 and 180. We'll say the high value because it's just easier. They're selling for 200. So we said, right? Yes. Okay. Let's keep that off there actually for now. Maze. It's currently selling for 248. And hydrocarbon plants are selling for 210. There we go. So we actually have the cost of these. Now, actually, if you look here, we're currently manufacturing them at a significantly faster, cheaper price than we could buy them. But if we were to buy just one little batch of them, that wouldn't be too bad, would it? Equals that times 4, which would need 800 credits. Which would see we should not be 500. If we just put in there 800 credits just for a moment, our profit on that build would be 200. And that, okay, so I'm happy to buy one blob of these. Although, since each one of these burns 4, regardless of, does it burn 4 on regardless of which material you put in there? It does, doesn't it? Yeah, you just 2 and 2 for a day. It's 4 and 4, 4 and 2 for a day, 4 and 2 for a day, and 4 and 2 for a day. Obviously, so it doesn't matter which resource we put in there, it will still burn the rate of 4. So, that being said, which is the cheapest material? Well, grains is actually the cheapest by 1 credit. Grains. So I'm going to actually buy 4 grains at 209.99. Buy. There we go. We now have an order fulfilled. Delete that. And we can go over here and we can go into our production. Because we now have the 4 grains, we can actually add the extra grain order in place. So give me that one, I think it is. Grains, excellent. And queue that up as well. There we go. So we have that one there is for the grains in stock, that one there is that grain, and that one there won't be ready in time anyway, so it's not a problem having it missing from the queue. Okay, that should keep us going quite nicely. Excellent. Alright, so that is our production chain up and running. Finances here, we can see we bought some stuff. Doesn't really help us out, but for those wondering what the company name is, because I should have mentioned this a bit earlier, I don't think I did this time round because I forgot we were doing stuff. Our company is, because it's a new company, is the Anthropophagite Collective. To repeat, it is the Anthropophagite Collective. I googled it and then used text to speech to figure out how to pronounce that. But the reason for that name is because it's community specific. It actually does have a community reference, so feel free to Google that name and see if you can figure out what the reference is. And I think you'll be. I think if you understand the community, if you've been on the Discord, you'll recognise that that reference, and I'm sure you'll have fun. If you haven't been on the Discord, please come to the Discord. There's a link below in the description of the video that will take you straight to the Discord server where we have some fun. Okay, so let's hide that. All right, so we've done the market, we've done the boost. Let's set, we got some time now because let's set up number 3, which is the multi market I want to have. So number 3, int planet markets. I just got markets. We got market and markets. Boom, done. All right. So what we're doing this one is very simple. I want to have my fleet. I want to have my inventory, so we can see what we've got available. And they're going to go to the side. The fleet can go there. The inventory can go there. That's not the inventory I wanted. The inventory can go there. Good. So that can go there, that can go there. And then what we're going to do is put 2 markets in place. So first thing I'm going to do is split this vertically. Bring me up that. And I only care about 2 markets. That one, which is the Mortem, and that one, which is the Prometer. So we exist in the Prometer market, where we buy and sell our stuff. This is where we would actually, where we would just move stuff to. You know what? Let's flip those around. Actually, it doesn't make sense to have you guys in that order. Boop, 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 boop. Hey, boop. Thank you. Prometer at the top, we work and live in Prometer, and we'll be shipping stuff down here. So if we were to say, hey, elements, which are the carbon we're making, if we were to ship it out to there, what would we be able to sell it for? Well, here we're saying we can sell it for 600 right now. If we put a market sale out there, we'll be selling for around 800. However, if we can get the element over to Mortem, they're currently buying at 1300, and according to the chart, over the last 24 hours they've been buying it around 1400. So we'd have no problem sending it there and making additional profit by quite a large amount. The question really is it financially viable? And honestly, we don't know just yet. So we have the fleet there. We have the we could actually bring up the cargo holds of both ships and put them in down here as well. That wouldn't be a bad idea, just to have a bit of extra space down here. So ship number 1 and ship number 2. There you go, your cargo holds, so we can see what's on the planet and see what's in the ships. Cool. I mean, I'll probably end up replacing that later on and dealing with that later anyway. But that's done. We need 2 names for the ships, by the way. If you've got an idea of names, please do let me know. Alright, so we have the ship, we have the rations, we got that. Good. I don't think we need anything else in the commodity exchange area. I do want a flight screen, so 5 flight. So in the flight screen, I'm going to want the map. Thank you. Universe map can go right there, and we'll split that in 2 because that's where our ships are going to be. We're going to want to have this split in 3. The first one's going to be the fleet. I just want to make sure we've got access to them quickly because this is a flying screen, so fleet makes sense. And then these are going to be the planets that we're going to more often, because we don't need the actual map, this part, we just need this bit here. I'll pop you there. Because would that make sense? Would it make sense to have that or the map? 1 second, let's pop that in there. Which makes more sense, to have the planet? You know what, it actually makes sense to have the planet, though. It's the code I care about, so split that in 2. We got Prometer there. You don't make sense anymore, but I can ignore you for a minute. And we need Momentum. There we go, Momentum. And you would go there. So we have the planets lined up nicely. Planet and planet, good. And then we got the ships there. That's good. And there's not really anything to put on the ships. So you know what we could do here? Even though it doesn't really make sense overall, we can put the cargo holds of both ships so we can see what's in flight. Again, it doesn't really make sense overall because we can click on it to see it, but just for now, it's just a little thing there, isn't it? Okay, so we've got the planets, we've got the ships. We should really swap those 2 around so the ships are next to each other. That would make sense. Can we have you split and you split? Drag you down to there and you down to there, and delete those because that'll make life a little bit easier to do that way around. There we go. And bring you up. Oh, I was hoping they'd be tied to each other. We have a base on that one, don't we? Put that to there. I don't need to see the base on the screen. I don't need to see the camera swings. There we go. Boom. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so we've got the cargo holds of the ships, which hopefully say carbon, 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 and then fuel or whatever, bringing it back. There we go. And we can see here, I don't actually care about anything on here apart from the fact the Prometer is FE391 Charlie, and the reason for that is when I hit fly, I have to actually type in the planet destination based on its planet name, and that's just a little bit more awkward unless you don't know the names. And since we only care about 2 planets, we're not just stacking like that for now. Okay, so we got the flight route, and we can see this. It's just let me see where my ships are moving through the thing. Okay, I'm pretty good on all of that layout. So let's see, production is going quite nicely. 23 hours on that one, tomorrow on that one, and they're going well. Okay, so let me know what you think of our layout. Is it easy to read as well? Because obviously, if you can see it, it's easy to read. That's great. Ooh, we got notes. We could bring that and pop that in here because we're in the market right now. No, we bring the notes up sufficiently as we need them. Okay, so there we go. Everything we need is there. We can see what we've got. We can see the price of everything, and we've got our production, and we've got our base of operations, we've got people. Okay, everything is running really well, and I think we are good to move on. Next episode, we'll probably build an extra farm, calculating the cost of running that. Hopefully we'll be able to start looking at putting some carbon onto sale, and we'll see how that goes. I do want to start shipping carbon out to Mortem as fast as possible, but I've got to also remember we have to be able to sell it and make some profits short term, because our current bank balance is only 10,700, and we're going to need to buy in materials to keep the place running. And actually, how long will it take us to get to Mortem? We haven't even calculated the cost, but I'm just curious how long it would take. So if we were to go to Mortem, which is Juliet Uniform 566 Bravo, with the default configuration, it would take 18 hours to fly there, and would use up 29 units of FTL fuel, which is the expensive version. If we would drop that down to 33%, 19 units would take 20 hours. How about the minimum burn speed? 21 hours, 14 units of FTL. I mean, I don't really care too much about the STL fuel. It's really cheap to buy, but if we would bring that down to minimum as well, 1 day, 14 hours to get there. So basically, we'll be able to send a ship out full of carbon. It'll take a day and a bit to get there. So we want to get that down to around 24 hours, and that'll be a nice slow burn and get them there. Okay. And then when they've arrived, we can then sell all the carbon, stock up with things we might need, maybe fuel, maybe the materials over there are a bit cheaper. Let's have a quick look at the markets. Mortem. Maybe, just maybe, agricultural products are cheaper over there. They are not. I didn't think they would be, to tell you the truth. But things like water might be. Fluids. Water is selling for 41. Is that 41? 63. Okay. Oh, it's that screen. 63. But here it's selling for, and we get a lot less. It's selling for 19. Yes, I should have known. I did the calculation earlier. But they have stuff that we can get cheaper there as well. Fuels, for example. Here we would buy STL fuel for 23, and there it's 20, and there it's 22. We can buy 199, and it's one. Okay, so we can buy fuels. Although currently no one's making the fuels, this fuel is what's become available through different means, shall we say, of people making companies that no longer exist, but they don't have fuel, didn't need the fuel. So anyway, minerals and the ores and stuff, the metals, they're definitely cheaper over there. The construction prefabs, if we want to build something, for example, and we want to start buying prefabs, let's say we want to buy a basic bulkhead, which is that what we can buy from here? Yes, which is 49999.99, which we have actually had to buy for the incinerator. Over here, the basic bulkhead costs 4,800, so we can save ourselves nearly 1,000. No, nearly 100, just by. Is it 100? I can't bother. It's too early in the morning. We can save ourselves a fair amount of cash there. It's probably about 100 and 109, nearly 200. We can save ourselves some cash by buying the stuff there and then bringing it back with us. The ship has to come back anyway, because it has to come back to get more carbon to go back again. But if we can bring back cheaper materials, that's actually saving us money in the long run as well. But anyway, that's our plan right now, is just to build up the carbon supply, make some money, and hopefully be able to expand into other areas. Because once we've got the carbon running, we can say, hey, we've got carbon, we can get some ore. We can use that ore, or the carbon, to refine the ore and sell the ore, to sell the metals instead. Or we can build something, or we've got more capabilities in this area. I think hopefully we can sell for a decent profit. Anyway, let me know what you think of the layout of the UI, what we've done. If you can think of any suggestions and bonuses, please do let me know. But until next time, comments in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.